Hi, and welcome to the weekly general reading for Monday, April 8th, 2019. Now, we're going to be looking at the next 7 days, just general information, what to expect and what are the dynamics and all of that great stuff, okay? It doesn't matter if you're not watching on April 8th, okay? You can watch this on any day. Just know that it's about the next 7 days, all right, guys? Okay, so that said, let me go ahead and point out the piles. Pile number 1 is the green butterfly. Pile number 2 is the purple butterfly. Pile number 3 is the white butterfly. Pile number 4 is the red butterfly. Pile number 5 is the blue butterfly, and pile number 6 is the pink butterfly. All right, so while you guys are picking your pile, I just want to go ahead and say that anything you need to know about me, you can find in the description. That includes how to contact me, my website, all sorts of stuff like that, okay? Also, for those of you who were wondering what was going on last week, I'll go ahead and say that at the end of the reading. I don't want to waste anybody's time. Okay, so that said, we're looking at the next 7 days. I'm going to begin with pile number 1. If you have not picked, go ahead and pause the video until you do. All right, so as always, I am going to move these around just to get that space I need. All right, hi, those of you who picked the green butterfly, here is your reading. We have the 2 of Wands, the 8 of Wands, and the 4 of Pentacles. We also have the 3, this would be the 3 of Pentacles equivalent, but it's this is a non-traditional tarot deck, so we're going to just call this Recognition and Reward. We also have the Clover and the Rider, okay? So one thing, it's like, I feel like you guys are going to be waiting for something, okay? And what you're going to be waiting for is going to come real quickly, okay? And I'm getting the same kind of thing right here. We've got the Rider. The Rider moves quickly, okay? The Rider is the subject, and the Rider is going to be bringing some good news to you. I mean, it's not going to be like outstanding news, but it's going to be some good news. It's going to feel either lucky or feel very fortuitous, that kind of thing. Now, the Rider can be just somebody delivering a package or a letter, but it could also be like somebody that you're interested in. Sometimes in this particular system, the Rider can represent the other man for a woman who has multiple lovers. So it could be from another person that you're interested in romantically. Doesn't really matter if you're attracted to men or women, but yeah, there's going to be some kind of message that's coming for you, and it'll come pretty quickly this week. So I would say, by Wednesday, I would say to look for that. And again, we have this, like, you're waiting. Some of you guys might be in a long distance relationship because we have that, but you're waiting for something and it's going to come quickly. Now, one thing that's going to be going on in your life right now is that either you're feeling like really tight about money this week, or you're planning something, and because of that, you're kind of like penny pinching. You're making sure that you have enough money for something that's going to happen in the future. For those of you who are really holding on to something, and it's not money, it's like some material possession, I would say, like, if there's something that you're feeling really, really attached to, what I would say is give this situation the opportunity to teach you something about yourself. For example, let's say you turned 16 last week, and this week your parents bought you this awesome car and you love it and you can't stop, going out and washing it and doing all the stuff that you want to do with it, or so that would be like, you'd get really, really attached to that car, right? So, you can take that and you can be like, okay, well, what does that mean about me? Like, I really value my freedom. I really want to make sure this looks nice. I'm really proud, that kind of thing. Because it's like attachments. It's like, I feel like it's more than just money. I feel like it's more like just examining what you're, it could be anything. It could even just be an idea, like an idea that keeps popping into your head over and over again. Just try to look at it as, this says something about me. What does it say? That kind of thing. And then we have the recognition and reward. So what I feel this is about is just about, it's like, some of you guys are going to be like recognized at work, or you're going to be recognized for doing a good job, like at work or school, or something having to do with performing, right? So I guess it could be like if you're a musician or a dancer or like in a play, something like that. You know, it could be that too. For the other part of you that aren't going to have that happen, it's like you're going to be feeling like you wish that you could get that. What I would say is, for those of you who feel like you're not getting enough recognition from people that are, I suppose, are supposed to, I would just say go ahead and ask them for some feedback, you know? I mean, you can even do this with like a spouse or you know, or even a child. You know, you can just say, you know, what can I do to help you with your homework better? Or what can I do to impress you that I'm doing the dishes all the time, you know, something like that. You know, it's like you can ask for feedback. That's okay. That's not against the rules, and you will get that because more people appreciate what you're doing than you think. And I think that sometimes we just get out of the habit of telling people like, hey, you're doing a good job, you know, and that can kind of feel weird sometimes, especially when you're working really, really hard. So that said, that is what your week's going to be like. Pile number 1. Okay, hi, pile number 2. Those of you who picked the purple butterfly, here is your week. We have the 5 of Wands, the Sun, the 6 of Coins. We have Sacrifice. We have the Fox, and we have the Garden. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and cover that up. Oh gosh, I feel so silly doing that, but whatever. Okay, so the thing that strikes me the most here is that we've got you feeling happy and like you have a lot of energy. And you also feel like you have a lot of insight. It's like things are more true this week, if that makes sense. Like your intuition is totally on, you know? It's like people are transparent, that kind of thing. Be aware that you might get into some like mild arguments with somebody, or a group of people. It's like, I don't know, it's like there's 2 groups and they're on opposing sides. I mean, like for example, in a political debate, but it's like, it's going to get more heated than it normally would. I would say than it should, but you know, it's going to get more heated than you anticipate, and that can cause some friction. It's going to be over really quick though, you know, it's going to be over before the end of the week, you know. So this could also have to do with the family. It doesn't feel like it's a person that you're interested in. You know, if you end up having an argument with a person you're interested in, it doesn't have to do with this, okay? And then we also have this like very even feeling when it comes to materialistic things, right? We have this sense of fairness, you know? So whatever that means to you, I'm being told that you guys need to interpret them for yourself, you know? And I say that sometimes, you know, I'm like, you know, don't listen to me, listen to your own intuition first, but maybe I can help point you into the direction that you'd like to go. But yeah, just understand that there's going to be this kind of even give and take. Like, for example, it could be like in a relationship. Maybe you feel like you've been putting a lot of energy into that relationship and the other person's going to start putting that energy in there too. Or maybe you've been kind of covering your friend on the rent every month, and now your friend's gonna start paying the rent as well, and so you don't have to pay as much, that kind of thing. All right, because I feel like it's favorable for you. That's what I'm talking about. And then we have this is called Sacrifice in this particular deck. I just wanted to mention that it's actually I believe it's the Hanged Man in the usual deck. Okay, sorry for that cut. I wanted to make sure that I was correct. For some reason I get 12 and 14 mixed up. The Hangman and Temperance. It's embarrassing, but hey, I'm telling you exactly what I'm getting every single time, okay? Even if I'm getting like the wrong card. But yes, this is the Hangman, okay? So the Hangman, it talks a lot about like perspectives and that kind of thing. In this particular deck, we're talking about sacrifices, okay? Either somebody's going to need to make a sacrifice for you, or you're going to be happy to make a sacrifice for somebody else, okay? And understand, you know, with this rainbow, it's like there's this kind of promise that things are going to be okay, you know? Another thing that you might find is that a situation that where you were feeling stuck in before is starting to move, but it's like moving in a way that you didn't even expect it would move forward, okay? So I do want to mention though that this is the equivalent of the Hangman for those of you that message might be more appropriate for you. Okay, so we have the fox in the garden. And with the fox, you know, we're talking about something that you might not trust, something that's a little bit too clever for you. You know, you're kind of skeptical about this person. This, for very many of you, this energy is going to be what either causes or affects this particular argument, you know, whatever argument is going on. But you see somebody and they're like a public figure, or they're somebody that you just meet you meet in person, or you see at work. Maybe it's somebody that you see out in public, okay? And it could be even a celebrity, like a public figure that you're, you know, maybe watching on TV, okay? And it's just somebody you just don't trust. You just don't trust them. You just think that they're, you know, they're weird, you know? And just know that this situation, this person, whoever it is going to be like they're going to be like stressing you out this week. I wish I could give you some advice about that, because, you know, I know that that's a very uncomfortable feeling, but like people stress me out all the time. I mean, in my personal life, okay, guys. And so I really don't know how to tell you how to handle that, except that just somebody that's either in public or somebody who you know that you see a lot outside of the home, that person might bother you. Okay, I'm getting something really weird. Some of you guys might be going to a concert outside that involves somebody where like their band name it has fox in it, like Fleet Foxes, or maybe the name of the musician or the performer is Fox, okay? In that case, which I think maybe applies to one of you, that's what your message is, okay? It's just acknowledging that, yes, you're going to do that, and it's going to be fun, that kind of thing. All right, guys. So that said, it looks like you have an interesting week ahead. I hope that it gets a lot more clear next week. All righty. Hi, pile number 3. Those of you who picked the white butterfly, we have the Page of Pentacles. We have the Lovers. I love it when that comes up. And we have Death. Okay, so this is interesting because we've got 2 major arcana cards already. But let me go ahead and talk about the rest of the cards before we go over there. We have Emotional Withdrawal. Okay, we have the paths, like somebody needs to make a choice, and we have the Child. Okay. All right. So either for you guys, I want to start here actually, even though I know this is probably distracting you. For some of you guys, you're going to have to make a choice that had to do like that you've made in the past, and you're going to have to remake it. And it's actually you're gonna have the opportunity to make a better choice this time. It's like that. For others, those of you who are parents especially or work with children, you're gonna need to have to make a choice about a child, okay? And that might be really, really tough for you. But it's like it's like right now. Now's the time to make a decision. For some of you guys, you're gonna be making a decision with your partner about whether or not you want to have a child, or if you want to adopt, for example, that kind of thing. The child could also represent like a pet, or just anything that you take care of that's innocent, that really relies on you, that kind of thing. I feel like that's what's going on. I don't feel like, because sometimes it'll come up like this. I don't feel like this is a new choice. I don't feel like it's like options. I feel like it's more like you have to make a choice about a child. Okay. Because if it was new options, and we'd have the child and then the choice. Okay. Like the choice would be new, the choice would be small, that kind of thing. But yeah. Let's go all the way back here. Okay, so we've got the Page of Pentacles, like offering something in the real world, like, for some of you, this might be a raise. This might have like be a gift of money, or a gift of something, like a material, like somebody loans you a book, that kind of thing. And for others of you, this could just be your person that you're really interested in coming forward saying, you know what, I want something solid with you, that kind of thing. Given that we have emotional withdrawal right here, okay, it's like, I feel like this emotional withdrawal isn't so much like withdrawing from all the emotions. I feel like it's like moving past the negative emotions. I feel like it's like, you know what, I'm not going to do any drama anymore, or I'm not going to make things harder for myself, that kind of thing. And it's like a really huge change, and that might be the choice that you make. It's just that you're done, that kind of thing. And then things start happening, regardless, your week is going to be focusing a lot on your love life, especially that coming together. Those of you who are watching that are wondering about the nature of your relationship, this is a card that really expresses, with the angel up here, the divinity which is present in your relationship. I'm choosing my words carefully because I don't want to use specific terms, because I know that can, sometimes people can attach to those particular terms, but for those of you who are watching who want that validation or need some kind of like signal, that's a signal for you guys. And then we have the Death card. This is just, it's going to be a big change. It might be a little stressful, okay? But the change is going to be good, right? It's going to be a stressful change. Okay, just because all change is stress, that's it. Overall, this is really positive. I kind of, I used to work in child trauma. Okay, so like looking at this kind of makes my heart hurt a little bit. The decision, whatever decision you need to make about the child, just if it's a situation where you're wondering about the well-being of a child, it's always better to be safe. It really, really is. That's the best thing I can say about that. If it has something to do with that, I don't think that for most of you it will. Okay, I'm just throwing it out there because that's just something that is close to my heart. All right, guys. So this, especially with the lovers, I'm so excited. You guys are gonna have a really good week. I'm so happy. All right, pile number 4. Those of you who picked the red butterfly, here is your. How interesting. This is like almost the same thing as we got the last time. Okay, so there's going to be either a choice or more opportunities opening up for you, okay? Keep that in mind. And we've got the King of Pentacles. This person is like really in control of... this person is really in control of what's going on in their world, okay? Plus, they have a lot of abundance in their world. So this kind of supports the fact that you would have a lot of options or a lot of things to kind of root down to choose from, okay? This card, sometimes I read it as somebody's going to have a defeat. Sometimes I read it as somebody who is, kind of a little bit... I don't know, like a little bit cocky about winning something. I feel like in this case, for those of you who are watching, this is more like some of you are going to be feeling a little defeated or like just diminished. Because I don't feel a strong feeling with it. I just feel like, some of you guys are going to be feeling diminished and some of you guys are going to be feeling enlarged, as far as your ego or how well you're doing. Know that that'll balance out. most likely, because it doesn't feel like, it doesn't feel like this is going to be lasting for even the whole week. It's just, I feel like there's going to be like an event that happens. All right. We also have firm foundation. Okay. So the King of Pentacles, the firm foundation, this is really reinforcing each other. This is like, you've got it together. You're not moving. You've got it together, but you still have some choices to make. Okay. Another way of reading this is that, you know, you've got this kind of fantasy life, you know, but you're really rooted in the truth, you know, because I know how it feels, because I get so much information sometimes and so many impressions that I wonder if I'm just going crazy. So like this grounding and this being really connected to like what's true, what's real, the sensate world is really important to me. So I just wanted to comment on that. Now we have an interesting Lenormand for you guys. So it's interesting, and here's why. I'm going to read this the way it would be if they had come up the opposite. Okay, this is the coffin and this is the heart, right? The heart represents love, right? And if it was this way, then it would be love. There's an ending to love, okay? So I just want to make sure you understand that I'm not misreading it by saying something different from what it might look like. So here we have a coffin or an ending, right? But that ending is going to lead to love. Okay, so some of you guys might be needing to get out of a stressful situation so that you can open up your heart some more. And that love, it doesn't necessarily have to be between two people who are in love with one another. It doesn't necessarily have to be like that. It could be self-love. It could be just, you know, being more compassionate in general, that kind of thing. It feels like there's something that's going to end. It needs to end, though. I mean, this isn't like abrupt, and it's something that you probably know needs to end. Most likely it has something to do with maybe a toxic relationship or just something that isn't working for you anymore. And then once that ends, it's like you're going to open up, like your heart's going to open up, and you're going to be able to get into that mode where you're able to love more completely. I'm getting that for some of you, it's like an end to your troubles. Like maybe some of you guys have been just having like stress after stress after stress, like just building up of like just all of these ridiculous things happening. And it's like, finally, it's over, it's ending, you know, and then you are able to focus on what you actually love instead of, you know, all of this, you know, overwhelming stuff, you know. But yeah, that choice actually might be the love. All right. Okay, so I like this spread for you guys. Okay, hi, those of you who picked the blue butterfly here as you're reading, we've got the Hierophant, we have the Five of Coins, we have the Fool, okay, Rest and Rejuvenation, all right, okay, we have, okay, we have the Letter and we have the Whip and Broom. Okay, so let me go ahead. You guys have lots of information here. I'm just trying to figure out where to start. So having two major arcana cards lets me know that this is going to be a pretty big week for you. In some area, like maybe work, you're going to feel like one person's doing more than they should and the other person's doing less. Now this could equally be you or another person, you know. It could be like, man, I'm feeling really lazy this week, you know, don't worry about it, it'll even out. Or, you know, man, I'm doing all the work and this person's just slacking off or whatever. It's like, you know, if it bothers you that much, then do something about it, definitely. Especially if you're feeling really lazy and down and it's been happening for a long enough time that it's affecting your ability to function, do something about it. If there's somebody at work that's chronically not helping out, you know, that has to be addressed. But I'm getting that it's more like temporary, like it's just for this week or just, you know, for a few days of this week. There's going to be a feeling that things are a little off balance when it comes to the material world, okay? So we've got the Fool and the Hierophant, okay? So we've got somebody learning a lesson, this week. So you guys, I feel like you guys are either going to be going to school or maybe going to a class, that kind of thing. Or maybe you're going to be connecting with somebody that's really going to give you some wise advice, that kind of thing. Because I really feel like whatever lesson you're going to learn, or whatever thing that you're expanding your consciousness about, is going to help you begin anew, like a new journey. It's like you're going to be able to start something new because you've learned this. Some of you guys might just be wanting to kind of like, this could be a story, you know, you're kind of sick of the, you know, the bureaucracy at work, so you're learning to go into business for yourself. You know, that could be, you know, an example of how to read this, you know. But this lesson, you're going to apply it. That's the main thing. And you have the intention of applying it. You have the intention of doing something with it. Okay? So yeah, keep that in mind. That's nice. So we've got rest and rejuvenation. I like this card because it's like the Hermit, only it's like cut in half, right? It's an introvert card. It's a nice, like, take some me time, you know, and that kind of stuff. Like it's also encourages people to like kind of sort out their thoughts about something. Okay, so if you're having a couple of days this week where you're really feeling more like kind of going within and everything, that's okay, that's normal, that's what's supposed to happen. If this happens to be somebody that you're interacting with, I'm not getting anything that indicates that this person has like a clinical issue. I just think that they have a lot on their mind and they really need to like just sort it out, you know, because this is me for a lot of my week. It's just that I like, if I can't process the information, then I can't function. I mean, that's the way it is. And sometimes people will see people that kind of withdraw a little bit and they'll think, oh, well, they're not functioning because they're not in society, or they're not like, you know, they don't appear active. But you know, everybody's different. Just know that you might need some me time. And if it's not you, it's going to be somebody else in your life, somebody you care about though, like somebody immediate, like for example, someone you live with or something like that. Okay. Oh, just one more thing about this. If it is somebody like you live with and somebody who you're close with, you can ask them, you know, hey, do you need any help sorting anything out? But just know the kinds of people that tend to need this to come to their conclusions and everything, that's just the way they problem solve. They have to kind of get in touch with what their morals are about it and their specific things, and they're the ones that have to come up with an idea. And once they come up with that idea, then they might want to talk about it just to kind of get a sounding board. But it's more about that kind of thing, okay? So we've got some kind of message coming. Unfortunately, the message is either going to be tedious, so maybe you're going to get a lot of spam messages, or and this would be like a text or an email, or the message is going to start like a fight, okay? There's one other way of interpreting this, and it's embarrassing for me, okay? But it's like, I don't know how to describe it. I don't know what it's called. I know what I call it, but I call it this as a joke, okay? I don't know how else to call it. It's like sexy chat, like when you chat about sexy stuff. Gosh, I'm so embarrassed. Gosh. Okay, yeah, it's like sexy text, or like sexy chatting. I hope that makes sense, guys. Oh my gosh, I'm such an idiot sometimes. But anyway, that's another way that it can be expressed, you know. So do with that what you will. Okay, guys, so it looks like you'll have an interesting week, right? Okay. All right, those of you who picked the pink butterfly, here is your week. Oh, we've got the Four of Wands coming back up again. We had been getting the Four of Wands like every week for a really long time, and then a couple of weeks it went away, and now it's right back. So we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, Temperance. We have Deception and Envy. This is the equivalent of the Seven of Swords, but understand that this is This is the Seven of Swords, but this is a we're gonna read this card the way it comes forward, okay? And then we have like you have something like either your growth is healthy or your health your growth, either your growth is like coming along really well, or this could mean like you're a really strong fixture in your family. And then the third way of meeting this is that like you should, for those of you who might be worrying about your health, I'm not a doctor. I cannot give any kind of diagnosis, okay? But this can mean that you're secure in your health. You're okay. You don't have to worry about it that much. That said, just because I'm not a doctor and I really need to make sure I'm covering my tracks here, if you have any kind of issues, don't take my word for it. So yeah, let's talk about this deception and envy. I feel like this is another person in your life, not you, but they're aiming this at you. I don't know why. It's kind of frustrating when I read for the public, because it's like, oh, I can't get really like in the nitty gritty, because, each person has their own like personal stuff that's going on, right? But we've got the deception and envy card letting us know that for those of you who are watching, somebody's gonna think that you're not being honest. But the thing that really frustrates me, and I mean, and this is kind of like my thing, because I really, really hate this in my own life. It's gonna bother you because you are being honest. Like, it's like you're fine. But I feel like they're trying to undermine you somehow. Like, it's like, I don't even know if they really believe that you're being dishonest or not. They're just gonna accuse you of it, or they're gonna make like a kind of like an underhanded statement that kind of implies that maybe you're being dishonest about something, and it's gonna really upset you. Try not to let it bother you, because I feel like their objective is to get a response. Okay, or let me say that again. Their objective is to get a reaction. Okay, like on the spot, knee-jerk reaction to that, instead of like a well thought out response, right? I would really encourage you guys that if this happens to you, in whatever way, to tell them, like, laugh and say, what? Like, what? So it kind of makes them, I've found that when people say weird things to me, like, you read too much. It's like, what does that even mean, right? Me going like, what? It kind of like throws it back at them, like, that's a weird thing to say. Why would you say that? That kind of thing. And I think that it's kind of an interesting little, and this is psychology. This has nothing to do with the intuition type stuff. It might, but this is just flat out psychology. It's like when people are trying to control you, you can just treat them as if they're irrational. You could say, what? Or you could say, why are you saying that? like explain, that kind of thing. If you remember to, because seriously, if somebody was accusing me of being dishonest, and even if I had like a kind of a feeling that somebody might do that week, I would immediately be like, oh, I'm not being dishonest, rah! I'd get real passionate about it, because that's just a thing for me, Let's go back here. We got the Queen of Pentacles, so you're going to be feeling really secure this week. We've got the security repeated here, but you're going to be feeling really secure in your, when it comes to like the material world. This could also have to do with health, especially reproductive health, okay? So if that's one of your concerns here, see a doctor, absolutely, but, we've got reproductive health, represented here, but like, this woman is like in control of her world. She feels very in control. Okay, so of course this woman would be like very confused if somebody accused her of doing something like that was not moral, because like it doesn't even occur to her to do that, because she's just, she's really living honestly and that kind of thing. You also might get some more money this week. We've got the Four of Wands. I really feel like for you guys, this is going to be more about a missed opportunity than it's going to be about planning for the future, like planning something in the future that has to do with like some kind of official event, okay? Now, that said, the opportunity might not necessarily be a good one that you missed, you know, but it's just acknowledging that maybe you were invited somewhere and you didn't go, or something like that, or this week, if you're invited somewhere and you mean to go and then it comes that time and you're feeling like, I don't know, it's like, it's okay to miss that, okay? But for those of you who don't have anything, like, you're like, what, I don't know, I'm not invited ever, nobody invites me anywhere, that kind of thing. This will be about planning for some kind of event in the future, okay? And then we've got Temperance. This is just all about, like, balance, you know? And when we've got the tree, you know, talking about health, and we've got the Queen of Pentacles, who's very balanced, right? When we have Temperance, you know, coming in, we're also talking about, you know, feeling very at ease, you know? So I really feel like the only major disruption this week is going to be this, like, person that is going to come in and, like, accuse you of being less than what you are, you know? And you know, they don't know you. They're not seeing you clearly. That's on them. It doesn't have anything to do with you. All right? Okay. All right, thank you so much for sticking to the end of this video. I mentioned that if you guys were wondering, the reason that I did not end up posting more videos last week is that I ended up getting laryngitis, and I could only use my voice for a limited time each day. I'm fine as of yesterday, and so I will be catching up by posting another general love reading to make up for the one I did not post on Friday. However, that's the only video that I'm going to post from last week. I'm going to just move forward and just try to get one out every single day. So later on today, I will be posting a general love reading for last week. That way you guys can get caught up, okay? And then the next one I'll post on Friday. That said, guys, thank you so much for watching my videos, supporting me. You know, I can't believe how quickly this channel's grown and how great it is. I really hope that I'm, you know, helping you guys out a lot. And, you know, the feedback really helps. Also want to let you know that me and Shannon are working really hard to come up with a lot of new kind of stuff for you guys. That deck flip through that I did, that was just, you know, I just happened to get that deck and it was really, really new. Like, it was just published and I noticed nobody else had done one, so I decided, why not? I'll do a flip through so people can know what they're what they're getting when they do that. The reason I didn't talk in that video is that obviously I had issues with my voice, but just know, if I do something like that, it's just to put something out there that for me I would want to see, okay? So that's what that is. But like, new content would be like some stuff that has more to do with the free public readings and that kind of stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. And that said, I hope to see you on my next video.